Good morning, everyone. My name is Toni Dupree. The name of my business is Etiquette and Style by Dupree. I work with children and adults in I offer an array of services. I am also a best-selling author. I have 2 books, Whose Fork Is It Anyway? And the new book is Straight Up from the Teacup. The first book talks about dining etiquette, and it's geared towards children and young adults because everybody needs to be comfortable at the table. And the second book is about our social interaction and how we communicate and best practice for those relationships, be it personal or professional. Etiquette and Style is a business that deals with your social engagement, your personal engagement, and professional engagement. So for children, I offer services that build confidence and keep them inspired. Basically, if you know what you're doing, who you're doing it with, and why you're doing it, that builds confidence. For adults, I offer corporate civility training. I go into businesses and teach them the cost of incivility and the benefits of being more civil, and also structure out the soft skills of business and life. Because if we throw things at one another, how good will anybody feel receiving that, being on the receiving end of that? If we hand it to another person, we feel a part of that process. We feel respected. So I go into that a little bit deeper. And my clients are elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, as well as businesses such as the City of Houston. Builders have hired me to come in and work with their staff and build their employee handbook. I do dress code as far as your appearance. If you look like you're doing business, people are more comfortable doing business with you. That doesn't mean you have to have on a 3-piece suit. That doesn't mean that you have to have on the most expensive dress, but it does mean that you have to look and carry yourself in a more professional manner. I also work with eye contact and body language. If you're open, people are more open when they respond to you. If you are engaging, talk about yourself, ask people about them, people are a lot more receptive to what you have to give them, and they're more receptive giving to you. Another thing that I do is the fun part, the social part. Sometimes it's hard to go into a new place, case in point, where you don't know anyone, no one knows you, and you're having to present what you do and how you do it in a short period of time. But the thing is, if you're comfortable, if you know what you're doing and you're comfortable presenting it, it all works out in the wash, like my friend Tammy told me a little earlier. So Etiquette and Style is a business that really just helps people be better at being who they are. It's not a best version of yourself, it's just doing you better. And that's what my writing is about, that's what my work is about. And I think if we start from the inside out, and if we deal with children from the beginning, daycare, I even work with daycares, then when they're going into elementary school, middle school, high school, then they're not carrying that monkey on their back with them. It's just a new experience and they're open to what they have to give. So, any questions so far?
Is it a one-on-one or is it a group?
So, both. I work with churches as well as community organizations, one-on-one. Parents sometimes have children that don't want to work in a group, and I'm fine doing one-on-one with them. My website is dupreeacademy.com. So www.dupreeacademy.com. Any other questions? Yes.
Is this over like a day or a span of days or just a time? Your training?
So I offer a customized workshop. So I'll take dining etiquette, for example. I can cover dining etiquette in an hour or 6 months. So it depends. If we are covering the American style of dining, which that's how we eat normally, then I can do that in an hour, 2 hours. If it's 2 hours, it depends if you're having dinner. If it's just a lesson, we can cover it in an hour. So, and that's the same with any other. So it takes 7 times for someone to commit something to memory, usually. So if you have a child who is struggling in their social atmosphere or their social interactions, then a 1 hour session, depending on what the issue is, may not be as effective. You may need 3 sessions, you may need 5 sessions. It really depends on how receptive the child is. And for businesses, it is more so related to what you want to cover, what the struggle is in your office. So if people are mad, well, it's going to take a little longer, because you have to break through that and then build trust, build confidence, and then get to the lesson. So it really depends on what the situation is. Any other questions?
When you're working with teens or adolescents on those social skills, are you seeing any results in them, like their self-esteem improving so that they're able to go out and talk to people and not be so shut in?
So immediately I see results, and this is how. So with each workshop, I give an assignment, not take-home paperwork, but mostly people interaction assignments. When you give the person the tools and they go back, this is what I normally get the next day. Miss Toni, it worked, it worked, it worked. So then it's more effective, and then they're sharing it with their friends, like, well, this is what I learned, or this is how you do that if you're struggling, because kids love to share good information, especially if it works for them. So I do see immediate results. Now with the adults, it's touch and go, I get a lot of praise for the information is easy to follow and it's functional, but it's the commitment to do it. With adults, how we can be a little stubborn sometimes. Kids are a lot more receptive. If you're taking the time, if you're making the investment, then they're like, okay, I'm gonna meet you halfway because I see this is working. But what's most important is how, if you're doing what you say they should do. Most times is do what I tell you to do. It's if you meet them with what you're teaching them. And that is best practice for me. I think that's what does the biggest work. Yes, sir.
So you have a book on child etiquette dining, I think is what you said?
Well, it's dining etiquette, and I had to change it. It did say for kids, but I had to change it because adults were telling me I get a lot from this book too. So when I relaunched the book, I just made it open for everybody. So it's a dining etiquette guide, and it covers the whole no phones at the table, posture. Usually I was really surprised. Children love the part in the book where your belly button should be measured directly at the table. That's how you know you're sitting up straight. And then it helps with the digestion. I was really surprised that they really liked that part. But yes.
And then they know which side the fork's on and the knife's on and the drink's on.
Mm-hmm. But I give a quick tip before I even start the lesson. And I always say, eat from the inside out. If you remember that, you can't miss. And then, you want to follow what the hostess or the host does. If the host is doing this, then everybody does this. Nobody wants to show the host or the hostess up. But usually, if you're following clean lines of dining, you don't want to do this. We're not shoveling anything, so, yeah. Yes, sir?
So your first book was focused on dining. Your second book is focused on, your current one that you just published, what is it focused on?
It's focused on our communication and personal engagement, socially, professional, or socially, personal, or professional. How the manner in which we speak to one another, how not to make someone your scapegoat to your problems, how to deal with unfortunate situations that arise in business, just sharing tidbits for best practice in business and personal relationships. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
So you can come in, like if we wanted to have a customer service training, you would be able to come in and offer the service to where we can offer the service here. We normally do trainings here at Glenn. You would be able to do something of that nature for our businesses?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I will.
And you can do it for individual businesses as well?
Yes, I can.
The secret shopper.
No, I can't do that.
Okay, what?
Well, if there are no more questions, thank you.
Thank you.